Today, we're embarking on a pretty deep exploration into the life and, frankly, the very influential career of a true giant of Indian cinema, Rishi Kapoor. Our main source for this journey is a comprehensive document, Rishi Kapoor Ki Puri Kahani.pdf. And our mission really is to distill those key moments, maybe uncover some surprising facets, and just unpack the enduring impact of this iconic personality. We want to give you a direct route to understanding his legacy.
Yeah, and what really hits you immediately with this material is just the sheer scope of it. It's not just a timeline. It paints a really holistic picture, that goes beyond just the dates and films to show the layers of his life and how deeply connected he was to Bollywood's own evolution.
Okay, so let's get into it. The source, interestingly, doesn't just start with, day one. It opens with a really significant quote. It sets a very reflective, very honest tone right away. It kicks off with, "I was born with a silver spoon, but I worked for every piece of bread I ate."
Wow. That tells you a lot from the start about the kind of candor we might find here.
Exactly. It signals that honesty. And then, yeah, it moves pretty quickly into his roots. The source states he was born October 4th, 1952. But the crucial part, as you said, is the lineage. Son of the legendary Raj Kapoor and Krishna Kapoor. I mean, you're talking about Bollywood royalty.
Absolutely.
And the material really emphasizes this being part of that Kapoor family, with Prithviraj Kapoor, Shami, Shashi. It wasn't just family, it was an institution. It shaped everything, privilege, sure, but also huge expectations.
That's a massive shadow, or maybe legacy, to step into. And speaking of starting out, his film journey began incredibly early. The source notes his debut as a child artist, get this, in 1955, the film Shri 420, directed by his father, no less.
But the material seems to really focus on his significant adult breakthrough, which it pins to 1970 with Mera Name Joker.
Yeah, Mera Name Joker.
Yeah.
And while, it wasn't maybe the biggest commercial success right out of the gate for him, the source definitely presents it as pivotal. A really important moment. Huge exposure on a grand scale, even early on.
So a stepping stone, really, setting things up.
Exactly. But if you look at the trajectory, the source makes it crystal clear. It was the 1973 film Bobby that just, boom, catapulted him, stardom. And this wasn't just like a hit movie, it was a cultural phenomenon. It basically rewrote the rule book for the romantic hero in Bollywood. He became the quintessential chocolate boy for a whole generation.
Oh, Bobby was massive, unforgettable. And the source really highlights that chemistry he had with Dimple Kapadia. Legendary stuff. It also points out he got immediate recognition, winning a Filmfare Award for that role, which is pretty significant, right? That early in his adult career.
Absolutely. A huge validation of his talent right away.
And the songs. You can't talk about Bobby without the music. The source specifically mentions Hum Tum Ek Kamre Mein Ban Han and Main Shai Tonahin. Absolute anthems. Still are, really.
They totally captured the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Which brings up an interesting point.
Yeah.
How did his work life and personal life connect? Because the source goes into detail about his partnership with Neetu Singh. An enduring one. They did so many films together that people loved. Mine, Rafu Chakar, Amar Akbar Anthony.
Yeah, classic.
And the source is clear. This mix of their on-screen romance and their real-life relationship just captivated everyone. It all led up to their marriage in 1980.
Right.
It was this amazing blend, and the public just adored them together, really solidified them as, the couple.
Their story, yeah, as the source portrays it, it became truly iconic, symbolizing romance on and off screen. But that amazing personal connection was just one piece of this massive career, right?
Wow.
The source mentions over 150 films.
It's incredible, the volume.
It really is. It speaks volumes about not just how prolific he was, but how adaptable he must have been. You look at the range. Cards, Johnny, these iconic romances, but then dramas like Damini, Layla Majnu, Prem Rag, Henna. He kept reinventing himself. How does the source kind of analyze that longevity?
Well, that's what's really interesting. His evolution as an actor. The source details how, he started as the romantic lead, almost typecast for a while.
Yeah.
But then, especially after 2000, you see this remarkable shift. Films like Duty Char, Agnipath, 102 Not Out, Mulk, Kapoor and Sons.
Right. Very different role.
Totally different. Much more grounded, nuanced, character-driven stuff. It wasn't just about staying famous. It was about growing as an artist.
Yeah.
He showed this incredible versatility way beyond these, the initial song and dance image. And the source suggests that adaptability was absolutely key to why he remains so relevant in an industry that changes so fast.
Yeah. Decades of work, touching so many people. But the source also, unfortunately, has to cover the later, tougher part of his life. It talks about the onset of his illness, leukemia, back in 2018. A fight he handled with, well, a lot of courage and openness, actually.
Yeah, he was very public about it.
And the source concludes this part, of course, with the sad date of his passing on April 30th, 2020.
And his life story, his perspective, it's also captured in his autobiography, which the source points out, Kulam Kula, Rishi Kapoor Uncensored.
Yeah.
The title says it all, really. The source implies it's a very personal, very candid, unfiltered look at his journey. No holds barred.
Kumkula, yeah.
And fittingly, the source material kind of wraps up with this final reflective statement from him that really brings it all together.
Yeah.
Sort of summarizes his whole philosophy. It says, I will always remain an actor first and a human being second. It is the greatest gift of God. My family has been in the industry for so many years, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Yep.
And it goes on. I have no regrets. My life has been an open book. I've lived it my way, honestly and sincerely. I'm thankful for all the love and the challenges that shaped me.
What a journey, a truly deep dive into Rishi Kapoor's incredible life, all thanks to the details packed into Rishi Kapoor, KiporiKahani.pdf. His impact is just undeniable, isn't it? And seeing it laid out like this, how his personal life and professional evolution were so intertwined, it's fascinating.
It really is, and it underlines something important, I think. Understanding the journey of someone like him, especially through a source this comprehensive, it gives you real insights. Insights into how a whole industry, a whole cultural landscape evolves over time. His career didn't just happen within Indian cinema. It mirrored and, in many ways, influenced major shifts. From those romantic archetypes early on to the rise of more complex, character-focused stories later.
So as you think about his journey, maybe consider this. How can one individual's path, their personal and professional life, especially when we get this kind of detailed look, truly reflect and even shape an entire era of art and culture? And maybe what other iconic figures might reveal similar kinds of rich, complex stories if we explored their lives with this kind of depth? Something to think about.